In a series of new X posts, Whitney Webb is sounding the alarm on the growing push for digital IDs. She argues that these so-called solutions, once rejected during the COVID era, are now being rebranded and sold to the political right in order to make them more acceptable.
There's a coordinated global policy push for digital IDs as the new form of government-issued identification credentials. And they're essentially all based on your biometric data, which can be your fingerprints, your face, the iris of your eyeball. And the idea is essentially to collect all of that data and have it housed or have it tied directly to your digital ID, so your physical ID will be mapped to the digital ID.
From warnings about surveillance creep to reminders of Jeffrey Epstein's strange ties to Treasury crypto projects, Webb is connecting the dots on how financial control and digital identity are quietly merging.
Digital IDs are not really a separate project from CBDCs and this new digital financial system. And UN documentation and also documentation from the Bank of International Settlements, they very overtly state that CBDCs and digital IDs are meant to go together. And without digital IDs, the CBDC digital finance system cannot exist. One of the reasons it can't exist without that is because of the KYC functionality built into this digital financial system. They have the know your customer protocols. They have to know who you are. And so they want to have your wallet tied to a digital ID and have that digital ID be mapped to your physical ID through the biometric data collection.
In her first post, Whitney Webb writes, "Myself and Mark Goodwin and a few others tried to warn people in January 2024 that a lot of the policies hated by COVID-era dissidents were being repackaged and resold by the right instead of the left to minimize resistance and to make them more palatable." She's responding to growing reports that the U.S. Treasury is now considering mandatory digital identity tools for decentralized finance. That means developers and platforms could be forced to integrate smart contracts that automatically verify user identity before transactions are approved. In a second post, Webb points followers back to her 2023 investigation, co-written with Ian Davis, titled Enforcing Digital Identity. That report warned that the UN's Sustainable Development Goals were being used as a Trojan horse, building a global digital ID system under the banner of inclusivity and justice, but in reality designed to tighten surveillance and control.
So there's different efforts to make digital IDs either as NFTs, non-fungible tokens. There's also the efforts of Sam Altman of OpenAI and his Worldcoin project, whereby you scan your iris, you give them the biometric credentials of your eyeball, they give you a unique identifier, a digital ID, and it's inherently tied to a digital wallet. That is the same model the UN is using. They've already implemented it for refugees getting food assistance from the World Food Program. It's called Building Blocks. It's on blockchain. It involves refugees scanning their irises, and in order to buy food or receive their rations, they have to check out of a grocery store style place in the refugee camp, and they check out biometrically with an eyeball scan, and then the amount of food they have, the monetary value of that is subtracted from their digital wallet connected to their digital ID and their iris.
And in another sharp reminder, Webb posts a Wall Street Journal screenshot linking Jeffrey Epstein to the Treasury Department. She writes, "Well, I can think of at least one person who would have loved this digital ID stablecoin policy from the Treasury Department." The article highlighted Epstein's claimed involvement in U.S. government crypto and anti-hacking efforts, raising uncomfortable questions about how financial tech policy can intersect with intelligence networks.
So ID 2020, the UN and other stakeholders in this particular sphere often argue that the reason this is necessary is because of what they call the identity gap. And the identity gap is the claim that the lack of digital ID is preventing people, mainly the world's poor, from accessing essential services, whether it's banking, whether it's education, whether it's healthcare. They claim the only way for these people to be able to access these services is to onboard them to these identity schemes.
For decades, America's healthcare networks have been overdue for a high-tech upgrade, and that's what we're doing. The existing systems are often slow, costly, and incompatible with one another. But with today's announcement, we take a major step to bring healthcare into the digital age, something that is absolutely vital. You got to do it.
Whitney Webb is warning that digital IDs are more than just a tech upgrade. They are the backbone of a financial surveillance system with global ambitions. If you want to dig deeper into her reporting, check out her full unlimited Hangout piece, linked in the description. Crypto news moves fast, and so do opportunities like this. We've learned exactly the kind of content you love, and now you can be part of it in a way that goes far beyond just watching. This is a rare, limited investment opportunity with real benefits for early partners. No fluff, no fundraiser. Click the link in the description or pinned comment right now to see what's included and how you can get in before it's gone. Don't wait. Once it's closed, it's gone for good. This is a limited opportunity to invest in this channel. Click the link below to find out more.